Hello, I'm the iguana from the Terminator, and you're watching Scribbling Chimp.
So, in the Terminator, you were known more commonly as Pugsley, so...
No, that wasn't my idea to call me that. Give your iguana a cool name, that's what I say. Anyway, her second pet was called Pugsley Jr., and he was a German Shepherd, so you figure out how that works.
Okay, so...
Sarah Connor went on to be a lot cooler after the first movie. If I was owned by the fighty soldier Sarah Connor in Terminator 2, I'd have had a very different name.
What do you think she would have called you?
George Warnappy.
You think she would have called you George Warnappy?
Yep, good name that.
Tell me what it was like being a lizard, or more specifically, an iguana. Sorry, can I say lizard?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so what was it like being a...
I called you Chimp, didn't I, so...
Sure, yeah. So what was it like being
It was a very exciting time for reptiles in science fiction, so yeah, I was where I needed to be. And there's no doubt that the most emotive and memorable scene of the movie is when Sarah Connor lifts me up and says, "Pugsley still loves me, don't you, baby?" And then kisses me and I go,
Oh.
I put a lot of effort into that performance. No half measures, just raw method acting. I learned the from Kirk Douglas.
But I thought you didn't like being called Pugsley.
It was a weird time, and I'll leave it at that. My second pivotal scene was when Ginger was getting all that food out the fridge for a midnight snack, and I dropped a couple of boxes on her head. And she said, "I'll make a belt out of you." You couldn't get away with saying that now. The politics was very different back then.
So, after that particular scene, when you dropped the boxes on Ginger's head, you were pretty much done and dusted in the Terminator franchise. I mean, we never hear from Pugsley,
George
Warnappy at all, anywhere in the films after that.
Yeah, well, you could look at it that way, but I was there in essence. 90% of people who watch Terminator are thinking about me for the rest of the movie, and you can't prove otherwise. When she's driving towards the sunset at the end, 96% of viewers see a shape in the clouds just like an iguana.
Where are you finding these statistics?
And if it weren't for me, there wouldn't be a T-1000. So you see, the lizard element passed over into Terminator 2, and that's why that was such a good film, but everything after that was such a troubled dollop of... yeah. I carried the franchise.
And finally, what can we expect from you going forward?
Well, I can't give too much away, but it involves time travel.
You're building a time machine.
Yep.
What for exactly?
Told you, I'm not telling. Join me next time when I interview the only human in a Terminator movie.
Oh.